World War II was a battleground for innovation, where nations pushed the limits of military technology. But some of the weapons designed during this period were so bizarre that they seemed straight out of a sci-fi movie. From flying tanks to bat bombs, today we're diving into 10 of the weirdest weapons ever created during World War II. Stick around until the end. You won't believe some of these. 1. The Antonov 40 flying tank. When you think of a tank, you probably imagine a heavy, slow-moving machine. But in the early years of World War II, Soviet engineers had a crazy idea. Why not make a tank that could fly? Enter the Antonov 40. This bizarre invention was a light tank attached to a glider, designed to be released from a plane and glide directly into battle. Sounds genius, right? Well, there was one major problem. The tank was too heavy. The planes couldn't lift it properly, and the project was quickly scrapped. 2. The bat bomb. During World War II, the US was searching for new ways to devastate Japanese cities. One of their strangest ideas, using bats as tiny bombers. Scientists designed small incendiary bombs that would be attached to bats. These bats would then be released over enemy cities where they'd roost inside wooden buildings. When the bombs detonated, entire neighborhoods would go up in flames. Sounds terrifying, but during a test, the bat bombs accidentally set fire to a US military base instead. Needless to say, the project was abandoned. 3. The Focke-Wulf curved rifle, a gun that shoots around corners. That's exactly what Nazi Germany attempted to build with the Focke-Wulf. This bizarre weapon had a curved barrel, allowing soldiers to fire without exposing themselves from behind cover. In theory, it was a game changer. In practice, not so much. The bullets lost accuracy as they curved, and the barrel quickly wore out. While the idea was creative, it wasn't practical for real combat. 4. The V3 super cannon. The Nazis were obsessed with building superweapons, and the V3 cannon was one of their most ambitious projects. This massive artillery gun was designed to fire shells over 100 miles, 160 kilometers, to bombard London from mainland Europe. The idea was terrifying, but in reality, the cannon was too big, too expensive, and too easy to destroy. Allied bombers wiped out the facility before it could be fully operational. 5. The Panjandrum rocket wheel. Imagine a giant rocket-powered wheel rolling towards enemy defenses at high speed. Sounds like something out of a steampunk novel, right? Well, the British actually tried to build it. The Panjandrum was designed to carry explosives and smash through beach defenses during the D-Day invasion. But during tests, it was completely uncontrollable. It wobbled, spun out of control, and once even turned back toward its own engineers. Unsurprisingly, the project was canceled. 6. The Gustav railway gun. Bigger isn't always better, but that didn't stop Nazi Germany from building the Gustav gun, the largest artillery piece ever used in combat. This behemoth weighed 1,350 tons and could fire shells the size of small cars. The downside? It was slow, difficult to transport, and required an entire railway system to move. It fired only a few times before becoming obsolete. 7. The wind cannon. Now this one sounds completely ridiculous. In a desperate attempt to defend against Allied aircraft, Nazi scientists developed the wind cannon, a weapon that used powerful bursts of compressed air to knock planes out of the sky. The problem? Air isn't exactly the deadliest weapon, and the wind cannon was completely useless in combat. No surprise that it never made it past the testing phase. 8. The Japanese balloon bombs. What if you could send bombs across the ocean with balloons? That's exactly what Japan tried to do. They launched thousands of balloon bombs designed to float across the Pacific and ignite fires in the US. Amazingly, some of these bombs actually reached North America, causing wildfires and even killing a few people. But overall, the plan was ineffective, and the idea was soon abandoned. 9. The ice aircraft carrier, Project Habakkuk. What's stronger than steel and floats like a boat? Ice, apparently. The British, facing a shortage of steel, came up with a wild idea, an aircraft carrier made of a special ice and wood pulp mixture called pykrete. This massive floating fortress could theoretically withstand torpedoes. But as practical as it seemed, the project was too expensive, and the war ended before it could be fully developed. 10. The Soviet anti-tank dogs. Sometimes, reality is stranger than fiction. The Soviet Union, struggling to stop German tanks, trained dogs to run under enemy vehicles, carrying explosives on their backs. In theory, the dogs would run under the tanks, and the explosives would detonate. The problem? The dogs were trained with Soviet tanks, so when they were sent into battle, many of them ran back toward their own side. As you can imagine, this idea was quickly abandoned. These are just a few of the bizarre weapons that came out of World War II. Some of them could have changed the course of history, while others were outright disasters. But one thing's for sure, wartime innovation leads to some truly strange ideas. Which of these weapons do you think had the most potential? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more amazing history content. See you in the next one.